don't know if you can see it, but man, goosebumps, goosebumps. Ugh. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It is still Halloween month, aka October, and this month I'm taking a look at music videos that are all kind of horror inspired or kind of horror themselves. I'm really excited because I get to take a look at another Chris Cunningham video. So I recently covered the video that he directed for Madonna, Frozen, way back when in the 90s. And this guy really kind of became famous for his sort of surrealist approach to music videos and some other projects that he did. And I so clearly remember watching Aphex Twins Come to Daddy for the first time. It absolutely terrified me. And I haven't really seen it since, so I'm really excited to kind of take another look and see if it still holds up, if it's still how I remember it. I just mostly remember it being really creepy and weird, so definitely a warning for this one. It's kind of unsettling, if I remember it correctly. In case you're new here, my name is Minanda Reaper. I'm a filmmaker, I write and direct, and I love looking at music videos. It's what I enjoy doing most, and I kind of do a deconstruction of them and how they were made, and just, they're my love letters to the wonderful package that makes up the music and the music video. So get ready and strap yourself in. Let's take a look at Come to Daddy. Okay, let's talk about the intro for a second because my gosh, okay. It's so interesting because with just very minimal sound design and very minimal, I wouldn't call the visuals minimal necessarily, but the colors are very minimal. So we open on these images that's sort of like they cut back and forth to all this gritty, flashy, industrial looking stuff. And the camera angles are all over the place. And then we sort of track down to the street level. And again, a dog is very prominently featured as a source of sort of terror. I feel like in Frozen, there was this dog, a Doberman, that was also just kind of creepy looking. And it's very prominent. It's beautiful and regal, but also still kind of creepy. And here too, it pees, and it's like it's this moment here, and then it starts barking, and it's just very kind of scary, like it wants to attack, and she has trouble like containing it and holding on. Very kind of scary. What is so fascinating is how he manages to create such an unsettling, creepy environment. Also, because this is from like the late 90s, I think the song is from 1997. It's very low res, right? So I'm getting max of 480p here. It's 4/3, although it's not entirely 4/3 because there seems to be some sort of banding going on. I'm not sure why, or maybe it was cut in how they uploaded it to YouTube. I'm not sure. but because it is so low res, it doesn't detract, it actually adds to it, because it adds to the sort of blurriness and surreal environment that they're creating, I think, here. Very cool. And then this beautiful shot, which is kind of unusual because she is positioned so low in the screen, so we see a lot of white around her, and you can really see here how it's almost completely desaturated. And the sort of the tones and the hues are kind of a little bit the same to what we saw in Frozen as well, this very bluish tones, except this here, which is very red and is kind of jarring in comparison. So, and then we see a first hint of what is lurking in the shadows here. And again, like the sound design here was so great, where all of it in concert is sort of creating this really unsettling atmosphere where the angles are weird, the cuts are sort of fast and frantic. There's a lot that's really unexplained, and we have the woman in her sort of frilly socks here, and she seems really innocent, and she's walking here through puddles. And as I learned from the DP that taught me, we love puddles of water to make things look more visually interesting. So you get beautiful reflections and such, and you definitely get that here. Beautiful. And so, yeah, just lots of weird stuff happening. And also, she's been shot with a very, very shallow depth of field. The lighting only hits her from the side, a little bit from behind. We barely even see her face. So she is like almost, fully obscured. We can barely see her facial expression. And the building behind her is completely blurry. It just, it looks very unnatural and unreal. So I love that. So, and then we're introduced to the scary face on the TV, which also scares her. And, well, we can definitely tell what her facial expression is here. But yeah, this thing on the TV always creeped me out. Oh my God, it's so scary. There's some sort of weird distortion going on the face, and it's moving. And this is the guy that, is Aphex Twin. He's the singer slash producer, I think. Had to quickly check, but yes, it's the singer-producer, Richard James, who is Aphex Twin. And yeah, let's just go from here. Oh, God. Oh, it is so creepy. It's exactly the way I remembered it. So then all of these people, they're wearing these creepy costumes of like these old-fashioned dresses, and then the masks and the wigs, and they're him. They look too large as well. It's so weird, and it's so unsettling. It's just so creepy. And then they're running and they're chasing, I don't know what, but they're, grabbing the TV and dragging these sticks along the walls. And it's actually, it really goes well with the music. So the edit there is really good. Like this here, I love the lines here. Like we have this fence, and then all of these little lines here, and then the lines here. It's just a beautiful look. And again, like it's really noticeable how desaturated and sort of green bluish this looks. It's a great look. Yeah. Ugh. they're so scary looking with these masks. And I'm assuming they're masks anyway, because they look so realistic. And given that this was the 90s, we discussed this before about Frozen as well, but Frozen was so good looking and had some VFX that really were ahead of its time, really. And here too, if this is VFX, I don't know. I always have to remind myself that, the first Lord of the Rings films were also from around this time. So it's perfectly possible that it was actually VFX. It's very creepy looking. I don't know. They do kind of look like masks because the holes for the eyes. But then again, they would have to be like really good, like silicone masks or something, which probably would have been as expensive as VFX would have been, I don't know. I am so curious to find out how they did the heads. Like they look so realistic. Yeah, this TV kind of almost reminds me of the movie The Ring, except creepier, even creepier. Just some great shots. So there's such unusual choices, and just to place the subject of the shot here so low in the frame, and we see so much of the building. And I'm also just noticing that there's someone here watching. I don't think I ever noticed that before. That's really cool because the red really stands out. It really pops, and we saw it before. There was a little pop of red, but there's barely any other color here. So I wonder what that is. Yeah, this is great. It's really, really uncanny and just very freaky. No. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh, didn't I just mention The Ring? Jesus. There's so many just incredibly weird things happening. So these kids are now kids, I don't know. They're trashing the place. But this moment was great. Just the moment where the music changes and it turns into this sort of kids song, and then they come skipping out of this really dark building. Again, a wonderful shot. I mean, it's almost the same exact shot as we saw before, even with the socks. I don't know what that means exactly, if they already consumed her, but I think we saw her again. Yeah, we did. So it's not the same character. They're just wearing the same socks. It could just be a coincidence. Unless the feet we saw in the opening.
12 seconds later.
The feet we saw in the opening were already those of the kids. Okay, that's just great detail. Love that. I love all the glitchy stuff with the TV. So creepy, and he keeps saying like he wants your soul, and they're coming to get it, Terrifying. Truly. And then I will say, like, this whole sequence really struck me how well directed it is and edited it is in terms of the action. And because it all made very logical sense of what was happening. And shooting action well can be really hard. The angles chosen were just really interesting to me. Love this shot too. It's so good. I mean, I love how contrasted everything is. It's just, it really looks very artful. So we have this sort of like medium close up, and then they're fighting. We see the hands, and then this, and then there's a couple of back and forths, and it looks like this was all shot in one go, but because of the way that it was edited, it really feels even more dynamic and sort of jarring. Really loved the way that this was shot. And you know, the graffiti here even is very appropriate. I don't know if that was already there. It looks very fresh, so they may have put it there. But yeah. All right, let's keep watching. This nuts. I don't know if you can see it, but man, goosebumps, goosebumps, ugh. And not just because it's a little fresh here. My God, my God. How Videodrome, The Ring type of body horror is this? Ugh. So this guy comes out of the TV, they have some sort of membrane all over him, and it just looks absolutely disgusting. I love how pronounced the spine is here. That looks so cool. And it's, again, very minimalist. Like this space, it looks sort of gritty. We have a lot of grays. It's a very interesting angle because this really leads us to believe that there's some depth to this space. And it's not entirely straight. It's a little off kilter, which, again, adds to that constant feeling of it, you know, something being off. Although, you know, there's certainly something off in this shot. And then this poor lady, and they start screaming, and this guy is revealed, and it's just terrifying. It's very, you know, maybe this was the inspiration for Slender Man? Because this is, oh, the face. Ugh, I hate it. It is so scary. So scary. Still, and why is he screaming at her like that? And why she's all frozen up? Contrary to the kids before, like here, everything looks a bit too large. It's just so freaky. I love how they use proportions in this to kind of distort your perception and just make it feel really just weird. It's such a weird video. Yeah, I remember seeing this for the first time pretty well. I was probably much too young. But, you know, they just played this on TV. I mean, they played a little later, but I loved watching music videos at night. Yeah, it's great. And I love how they really blasted the light on her face here. It's like not just is she being overwhelmed by the sound and the noise, there's this wind coming, and then there's the light too. It's like complete sensory overstimulation. It's pretty incredible. Just really well done. Really, really, really well done. We don't really see videos quite this strange anymore. Not from, I don't know how mainstream Aphex Twin necessarily was. But I remember Window Licker being everywhere, and that was also weird with the women with the face. I don't know. So many weird videos. no. Ugh. I am just, again, just sort of horrified and disgusted. It's so good. It's so good. It really did what it set out to do. Let's just say that, because it's just so unsettling and unusual and just, I don't know. It's interesting because David Cunningham, actually the director of this, went on to make sort of his own electronic music, really experimental stuff, and made his own videos like on stage to go with that, as well as some other, music videos, and all very artistic. And he kind of started doing his own thing more. But you can definitely see how his earlier work, like Madonna and this video specifically, really inspired a lot of what he did later on as well. So he has such an incredibly consistent style, I found, at least in this time period. But yeah, it's the editing for me. It's like nothing even much happens here. This guy is just standing there, and we got the face just contorting while it's sort of screaming, like electronically. Very unsettling. And then we have all of these shots where we just see the body, and it's just sort of, I don't know. At the time, like way back when, I didn't know as much about body horror as I do now. And you can tell how that whole movement sort of inspired him. Like I saw some Cronenberg in this, it's definitely very interesting. He's just sort of standing there and moving, but the way that it's edited and with these glitches and everything, it just becomes so much more unreal. And same for this final shot here, which I really loved. So it starts like this, and then it sort of starts moving like it's falling, like the world is falling, and then it starts glitching. Love that sequence. Like it's really cool and such a simple way of showing like, hey, some stuff is like really weird and kind of strange now. And this was even a couple years before The Matrix, but it's giving me a little bit of the Matrix vibe too. So many cool things here. And I can imagine the Wachowskis seeing this, at the time. Yeah, this absolutely incredible. I think that so many people were inspired by these videos. It's definitely a very impactful director on at least the music video scene. These were just absolutely wonderful. I'm so glad I took a look at this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you want to get more involved, you can join us on Discord. The link to the server is below in the description. And meanwhile, subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you're having a great October. Let me know what movies you're watching to get into the mood for Halloween and this whole season. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the weather getting a little bit cooler, which is great. Here in Los Angeles, it doesn't really get cold ever, I think. Not really. But it's really nice to finally have a break from the scorching summer that we had here. So I'm having a good time. I'm really enjoying watching all of these spooky videos with you. So let me know if you have any further suggestions for the rest of the month. But, till then, please take good care, and I hope to see you on the next one. Peace.